everybody, it's Miss V. Today we're going to talk about tone and how it works on a string instrument. The first thing I'm going to have you do is grab your instrument and pluck your lowest string and notice how the vibration works on your string. It's really easy to see on a thicker string. So right now I am going to have your eyes look right at the center, have your eyes look right up near the nut, and have your eyes look right down by the bridge. I'm going to pause the video and have you tell me, what do you notice about these vibrations and how it works as the string is suspended from point A to point B, just freely plucking there. Now, when you bow, you're actually cutting into the vibration of the string. So it makes sense that if you're bowing near the center of the vibrations, that you're not going to get a full expansion on this side of the bow where the string is vibrating the most. So that's why it's softer, and sometimes we want that. But today, I'm going to talk to you about the sweet spot and how to get the most tone out of whatever instrument you're playing. So I'm going to use a red Sharpie and call this our red road. This is the sweet spot of the string. So in tennis and baseball, those sports have a sweet spot of their racket, a sweet spot of the bat. I think ice skaters have a sweet spot of the blade. Gymnasts have sweet spots for when they launch themselves against gravity. And this is what the sweet spot does. If you're bowing there, you can do the least amount of work to get the most amount of sound. So I like to indicate this with a red marker so all of us can call it the same thing. And I want you to pluck your string, and I will do the red road for you in school if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself. But if you look, there's a place where the string isn't vibrating at all. And as soon as the string starts to emerge away from itself in its vibration, that's where we want to put the bow to get the most amount of sound and to get this string vibrating at its fullest. There's a little groove there. Some teachers like to call it the Chrysler Highway, which is a great little pun because there is a car, the Chrysler, and you're driving on that highway. But there's also a famous violinist named Fritz Chrysler who wrote a lot of music, and he also is a great violinist. So we can call it our Chrysler Highway, or we can call it the Red Road, or I like to call it the sweet spot of this string. So as you're bowing on this particular place, we're going to call that the contact point. The contact point is where the bow meets the string. And there's many contact points on your instrument, like we were saying before. Sometimes we intentionally play softly, and then we want to move away from this place. But today, I want you to practice really getting up on this same spot and keeping your bow there. So your eyes are going to stay on your open strings when we do this. And your eyes can stay in the middle of the string so you can see if your bow is actually pulling that string to the fullest extent where you can really see right through it. I'd like you to practice this on all your strings, down bows and up bows, and it should be pretty loud. There's two more things we need to talk about when we're pulling a good tone. I already mentioned contact point, and we drew on where it's going to be, and I talked to you about where it's going to be right as the string expands. But there are two other factors, and that would be how much pressure you put on the string or the weight you put on the bow. And also, another science word, the speed of which you pull. So this is a very scientific instrument, and the speed and velocity are going to change the tone enormously. And I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to play on the D string with too much speed. We get that glassy sound. Sometimes it skids right off. Sometimes composers want that on purpose, but most of the time we're not aiming for that. If you bow too slowly, and I'd like you to try this, very slow bows can give you that crunchy sound. So we want to go at the very best speed and weight and contact point to get the best sound out of whatever instrument we have. So I'm going to show you setting the bow, and also your bow hold being balanced is helpful too. We're going to start right on that red road and pull the string. way to the tip and all the way to the frog with the string almost invisible in the middle there. So practicing that is going to be your best way to get the best tone out of your instrument.